Welcome to another episode of Terry's Notes, and today we are going to be looking at a function and its inverse. Right? Now this is just a quick revision here. I will do a proper video on functions and relations. Okay, so let's talk about a function. Now suppose we are told that f of x is equal to 2x plus 1, right? So this is how we say f of x, right? Sometimes you can see something like x is defined such that x is mapped onto 2x plus 1. Now, typical question they can ask you is to find f of, let's say, 2. If we know that f of x is equal to 2x plus 1, f of 2 will be equal to 2 multiplied by 2 plus 1, which is equal to 4 plus 1, which is equal to 5, right? All we are doing is taking this 2 and substituting it into this equation here, right? So if I were to ask you f of 4, f of 4 would be equal to 2 multiplied by 4 plus 1, which is equal to 8 plus 1, which is equal to 9, right? F of minus 1 will be equal to 2 by minus 1 plus 1, which is equal to minus 2 plus 1, which is equal to minus 1, right? So when when they give us a function and they ask to find f of something, we just need to substitute into the function that they gave us. Okay. Now, if they were to give us another function, let's say g of x is equal to, let's say, x squared plus 1. Now, suppose they ask us to find fg of x. Now, at this point, this is what we're gonna get something called a composite function, right? And this is where students get confused. Now, we know what f is. F of x is this. We know that g of x is this. And we want to find fg of x. Now, what does this mean? What it means is that I'm going to take this here. I'm going to take g of x and I'm going to substitute it into the function f. Right? So g of x is x squared plus 1. Right? So I'm going to take this x squared plus 1 and I'm going to substitute it for x into the function f, right? So it'll be 2 open brackets x squared plus 1 plus 1, right? Which would give us, we're going to remove the brackets here, so it'll be 2 by x squared and then 2 by plus 1. So this will be 2x squared plus 2 plus 1, which is equal to 2x squared plus 3. Right, so that is how we find fg of x. Now they can also ask us to find g f of x. How do we do that? So again, we're looking at our right hand side. It's important how you read this. And we're going to take f of x and we're going to substitute it into g. Right, so this is f of x here, and I'm going to put it into this equation here, right? So it'll be 2x plus 1 squared plus 1, which will be equal to, this will be, you can write this as 2x plus 1 by 2x plus 1 plus 1, which will give me, I'm going to remove the brackets here. So you're going to say this by this, then this by this. So this will be 4x squared plus 2x plus, now you're going to take the 1 by this and then the 1 by this, which will be 2x plus 1, and then we have to add this last one here. So this will be 4x squared plus 4x plus 2. Alright, So this is what we call a composite function. Now, another thing they can ask you is to find the inverse of a function. Alright? So let's say they tell us that f of x is equal to 2x minus 1. And they come and they said, find f inverse of x. Right? Now, f to the power minus 1 of x. Right? This is what we call the inverse function. Now, there are certain steps that we do in order to find the inverse of a function. So we start off with the function that they give us, which is 2x minus 1. Next step is to let y equal to 2x minus 1. Pretty straightforward. Wherever we see f of x, we put y. Then the next step is to interchange x and y. So we're going to interchange x and y. So anywhere we see y, we put x, and anywhere we see x, we put y. So we end up with x is equal to 2y minus 1. And what we have to do now is to make y the subject of the formula. So I can write this as 2y minus 1 is equal to x. Therefore, 2y is equal to x plus 1. And therefore, y is equal to x plus 1 over 2. So therefore, f inverse of x is equal to x plus 1 over 2. Right? So that is how you find inverse of a function. Let me give you another one. Suppose I have g of x is equal to x plus 3 over, let's say, x minus 4, right? And they will ask you certain questions. They might say, state the value of x for which g of x is undefined, right? Now, for a function to be undefined, now this, we have a fraction here. We have x plus 3 over x minus 2. So for the function to be undefined, the bottom has to be equal to 0. So in order for the bottom to be equal to 0, that's x minus 4 is equal to 0, x must be equal to 4. So when they say the value of x for which f of x is undefined, this is the value here. Alright, now I'll just go through some quick past paper questions, right, to show you the type of questions that they do ask. So this is a typical examination question. They give you two functions. G of x is equal to 4x plus 3, and f of x is equal to 2x plus 7 over x plus 1. Right, so look at this. State the value of x for which f of x is undefined. So they want a value of x, right? Now this is the function f of x. So in order for the function to be undefined, this bottom piece here has to be equal to 0. So therefore, x plus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, x is equal to minus 1. So the answer for the first part is x is equal to minus 1. Now they come and they ask you to find g f of 5. Now, you can do this in two ways. Either you go and you find g f of x first, and then you substitute 5 into g f of x. Well, yeah, you can do that, but there's an even easier way. The first thing you can do is to find f of 5, right? F of 5 will be equal to 2 by 5 plus 7 over 5 plus 1, which is equal to 5 2s are 10 and 7 is 17 over 6. And then we go and we take this answer here now, what we got for f of 5, and substitute that into the function g. So we're going to say g of 17 over 6, right? Which is equal to 4 multiplied by 17 over 6 plus 3. So we end up with, well, you can just use your calculator in this case here. So we end up with 43 over 3. Okay. So notice you have 3 marks to this question. So you might probably get maybe 1 mark for this and 2 marks for doing this. Right. Now the next part says to find the inverse of this function f of x. Now let me do this on a separate page. So f of x is equal to, let's go back, 2x plus 7 over x plus 1. 2x plus 7, 2x plus 7 over x plus 1. Now this is probably the hardest type of inverse they might ask you to find, but you have to follow the same steps. So the first thing you do is you let y equal to 2x plus 7 over x plus 1. Then we interchange x and y. Now in an exam, you should, like in this case here, I'm writing down these steps, right? You should write it down in the exam just in case you make a mistake. You can still be awarded some marks, right? So you're gonna have x is equal to 2x plus 7 over, 2y plus 7 over y plus 1. Right, so whenever you have something like this, you need to cross multiply. So we end up with 2y plus 7 is equal to x into y plus 1. So 2y plus 7 is equal to x, y plus x, right? Because we did this. We carry all the y's on the left side. So we end up with 2y minus xy is equal to x minus 7, right? Let's go across here now. What we have to do on the left side, we have to factorize. We have to pull the y out. So we end up with 2 minus x is equal to x minus 7. Therefore, y is equal to x minus 7 over 2 minus x. So therefore, the inverse function, f inverse of x, is equal to x minus 7 over 2 minus x. Okay? So this is how we find the inverse of a function. Let's look at another example. Suppose we have f of x is given as 2x plus 1 over 3, and g of x is 4x plus 5. Find the value of fg of 2. So first thing you do, you find g of 2. So g of 2 will be equal to 4 by 2 plus 5, which is equal to 8 plus 5, which is equal to 13. Then we're going to take the 13 now, and we're going to substitute it into f. So f of 13 will be equal to 2 by 13 plus 1 over 3, right? Well, you can just use your calculator at this point here. So 13 by 2 is 26. So 26 plus 1 is 27 divided by 3, which gives us 9. Right? So what we should do is state that f g of 2 is equal to 9. So the answer for the first part is just 9. Okay? Now we want to find f inverse of 3. So here what we need to do, we need to start off with f of x is equal to 2x plus 1 over 3. Now we're going to let, so your first step is to let y equal to 2x plus 1 over 3. Now I'm just leaving out the writing here just to save space, right? then we're going to interchange x and y. So therefore x is equal to 2y plus 1 over 3. So we're going to have to cross multiply here. So we end up with 2y plus 1 is equal to 3x. Therefore 2y is equal to 3x minus 1. Therefore y is equal to 3x minus 1 over 2. So therefore f inverse of x is equal to 3x minus 1 over 2. And the question is asking us to find f inverse of 3. So we're going to take 3 and substitute it into the inverse. So it'll be 3 multiplied by 3 minus 1 over 2, which will be 3 3s are 9 minus 1 over 2, which is equal to 8 over 2, which is equal to 4. Right? So the answer for this part is 4. Okay. Let's do another one. So we have two functions again, and we want to find g of a half. So g of a half will be half minus 2 over 3, right? Which is half minus 2 will give us minus 1.5 divided by 3, and we get minus a half. Right? You can just use your calculator to work this out. So all I'm doing is taking a half and substituting it into this function here. Okay. Now they want an expression for g f of x in its simplest form. So I'm going to take f of x and I'm going to substitute it into g. Right? So what is it? Let's see. Right. So g f of x is equal to, I'm going to take f of x and I'm going to substitute it for x into g, right? So it'll be 6x plus 8 minus 2 all over, 6x plus 8 minus 2. Right, yeah, minus 2 over 3, right, which will give me 6x, 8 minus 2 is 6, so it's 6x plus 6 over 3. We can simplify that further and we can get 2x plus 2, right? So this is really 2x plus 2. Now I want to find the inverse of this function here. So the first thing you do, you let y equal to 6x plus 8. Your next step is to interchange x and y. So we put x is equal to 6y plus 8. So we can say 6y plus 8 is equal to x. Therefore 6y is equal to x minus 8. Therefore y is equal to x minus 8 all over 6. Right? So therefore f inverse of x is equal to x minus 8 over 6. Right? Pretty straightforward. You just need to practice as much questions as you can. We have another one here. We have two functions again. I want to calculate f of 4. So f of 4 would simply be 2 by 4 minus 5, which is equal to 8 minus 5, which is equal to 3. Now it's so simple, they're only giving you 1 mark for this. Now g f of 4, we're going to take f of 4 and substitute it into g. So we must find f of 4 first. So f of 4 will be 2, we worked out f of 4 already. F of 4 is equal to 3. Right? So f of 4 is equal to 3. So this answer will be, we're going to take this 3 here and substitute it into this function here. So it'll be 3 squared plus 3, which is 9 plus 3, which is equal to 12. Right? Next thing is to find the inverse of f. This one again is straightforward. We're going to let y equal to 2x minus 5. Then we interchange x and y. So x is equal to 2y minus 5. We can write this as 2y minus 5 is equal to x. 2y is equal to x plus 5. And therefore y is equal to x plus 5 over 2. So therefore f inverse of x is equal to x plus 5 over 2. Okay, let's do this last one here now. So we have two functions again, and we want to find f of minus 2. F of minus 2 will simply be 2 by minus 2 minus 5, which would be minus 4 minus 5, which is equal to minus 9. Right? Now we want to find g f of 1, so we have to find f of 1 first and then substitute it into g. So f of 1 will be equal to 2 by 1 minus 5, which is equal to 2 minus 5, which is equal to minus 3. Right? Now we're going to take the answer we get here and substitute it into the function g. So we're going to say g of minus 3, right, which would be minus 3 squared minus 31, which is equal to 9 minus 31, which is equal to 9 minus 31, and we get minus 22. So the answer for this is minus 22. And then this last part, they want to find f inverse of 3. So we should find the inverse function first. So we let y equal to 2x minus 5. Then we interchange x and y. So we get x is equal to 2y minus 5. So we can write that as 2y minus 5 is equal to x. So 2y is equal to x plus 5. So y is equal to x plus 5 over 2. So therefore f inverse of x is equal to x plus 5 over 2. So if we want to find f inverse of 3, we're going to basically take the number 3 and substitute it here. Right? So we're going to end up with 3 plus 5 over 2, which is 8 over 2, which is 4. Alright, now this is just a quick revision here on functions. I will do a proper video talking about relations and functions. Okay?